A familiar was a magical animal companion that helped witches with their spells. Aunt Sandwich had Snowy, Foxglove had Pirate, and Pandora had recently met Roxy. She was an adorable fox cub with bright eyes and a bushy tail and magical glowing fur. Although they hadn't known each other long, it was clear they were made for each other. Scarlett couldn't wait until she had a familiar of her own. Suddenly, Maya gave a shout. She had discovered a sparkling rainbow that curved away from the pool like a gigantic water slide. "Is it safe to ride on?" she asked. "It is," replied Aunt Sandwich. "In fact, even Pirate might like it. There's no water at the end, just bouncy pink clouds." So Scarlett and her friends clambered up and shouted in delight as they zoomed through the air, slipping, sliding, and looping the loop, then landing softly in the mists at the rainbow's end. "That was a little undignified," said Pirate, although Scarlett could tell that he had enjoyed the ride just as much as she had. Suddenly, Scarlett had the strange feeling she was being watched. She looked around and saw several round pairs of eyes blinking at her from under a bright red bush. "Those are Trixies," said Aunt Sandwich, as 5 little creatures covered in rainbow fur scuttled out to say hello. "Don't worry, they're perfectly harmless." "I love them. They're like tickly tennis balls with legs," giggled Foxglove as the cute creatures scrambled all over her. "They seem to like you too," laughed Aunt Sandwich, glancing at the witch watch on her wrist. "But I'm afraid it's time to go home." She waved a hand and the girls' swimsuits instantly turned back into their everyday clothes. "Can we come back soon?" Scarlett asked, looking down at her shorts and t-shirt in disappointment. "Of course," said Aunt Sandwich. "Now, before we leave, I need everyone to check their pockets. We can't bring anything from the Rainbow Realm into our world. Even the smallest flower could cause chaos." The girls emptied their pockets, and Maya gave an annoyed shout when Pandora took out a small silver mirror. "Oops, sorry," said Pandora. "I borrowed this from you last week and, forgot to give it back." "I spent ages looking for it this morning," said Maya, looking irritated. Foxglove rolled her eyes. "Stop squabbling, you two," she said. The girls quietly trooped back to the trapdoor that led to their own world and climbed down the rope ladder to the treehouse below. As soon as they were all safely inside, Aunt Sandwich twisted the magical dial on the wall away from the rainbow symbol. Scarlett knew that it was very important to check the position of the dial before opening the trapdoor. When the arrow was pointing away from the symbols, it led up onto the treehouse roof, as usual. But as soon as it pointed to a symbol, it became a gateway to a magical realm. Each symbol on the dial led to a different world, and not all of them had rainbows and waterfalls. Some had lava monsters or invisible sky sharks. Of course, junior witches were strictly forbidden from visiting any of the worlds on their own. Scarlett flopped down happily on a comfy beanbag. There was an enchantment on the treehouse that made it bigger on the inside than it was on the outside, but the room still had a warm, cosy feel. The wooden floor was covered in thick rugs, and the walls were lined with shelves full of glass bottles, mystical crystals, and ancient spellbooks. Foxglove grabbed an apple from the cauldron-shaped fruit bowl on the table and took a bite. At once, Pirate's fur stood up on end, and he began to hiss. "What?" she protested. "I'm hungry." "It's not the fruit," said Pirate. "There's something under your hat." Pandora snatched the witch's hat from Foxglove's head, and everyone gasped as a tiny Trixie rolled out onto the rug. "Foxglove," said Aunt Sandwich sternly, "I told you not to bring anything back from the Rainbow Realm." "I didn't mean to."